We're pleased to have with us on the phone the one and only Donald Trump. Several polls have Newt Gingrich surging in South Carolina. Some have him overtaking Mitt Romney. The primary is tomorrow. Do you think that Newt Gingrich may win South Carolina? And if he does, what's the implication for Romney's campaign?
Well, Newt really has been surging, and he's done really well in the debates. He's forthright. He's had some very tough questions, like the one with the wife, the ex-wife, and I thought it was a very unfair question to be asked, but he handled it. He knocked it out of the park. So he's done so well in the debates. I think Mitt's done good. He's done nicely in the debates, but not to the same extent, and he's got to do something with that income tax return. Maybe he has to release it early or do something, because he's just leaving too much doubt in the way he's answering the question. And I think he's a terrific guy. I think Newt is terrific, but they're really hurting each other, and it's only to the benefit of Obama.
You mentioned those reports about what Newt's ex-wife allegedly said. Do you see a media double standard here with them pursuing this relentlessly as opposed to the way they treated other past presidential candidates with histories as well?
Well, I see a total double standard compared to the way they treat Obama himself. I mean, you look at what's going on with Obama with his records and his college records and lots of other things that he doesn't give. And you could also go into the birth certificate, how long it took him to give the birth certificate, if in fact that was his birth certificate. And of course, as you know, there's a lot of question about that because the records aren't clear. So, the way they treat Obama certainly is a lot different. And I would imagine that if this was Obama, they wouldn't have even asked him that question.
Mitt Romney can't seem to close the deal with Republican voters, at least not yet. What is he doing wrong?
Well, he's got to be more decisive. He's got to be more decisive, and in particular having to do with his tax returns. I mean, give them, don't give them, but you can't go sort of in the middle. And Mitt is really sort of going down a middle path. And I just don't think it's acceptable. People are saying, well, why is he saying that? Even Ron Paul, I mean, I watched the way he answered. He said, I'm not giving my tax return. And that was very interesting the way he said it. And nobody went crazy over it. But Mitt is in this never-never land. It's in tennis, they call it the never-never when you're off the baseline a little bit. And it's putting him in a very bad position. And I'm sure he's got nothing to hide, but he's got to make sure of the fact that those returns get out. I think probably he should do it before the April 1st date, but that's really his decision. But it really is leaving indecision. And, people are saying, why is he acting this way? He's got to be decisive when it comes to the tax return.
Do you think the fact that he has not released his tax returns creates a perception in the mind of voters that he is, in fact, trying to hide something when he may well not be?
Not the fact that he hasn't released, it's the way he's doing it. He's got to be more decisive. Don't release them, release them. It's got to be, though, not a lot of talk afterwards. There's so much hemming and hawing. And I'd almost like to talk to him about it. I'm sure that he's not hiding anything, but the indecisiveness is causing a doubt, I think, in the voters' minds, and that's not good. It's certainly not good for Mitt.
Now, Sarah Palin is urging voters to vote for Gingrich in South Carolina. She says she wants the race to continue. Do you agree with her, and what chance does Newt have in Florida, a state where you have a home?
Well, I'm a big fan of Sarah. I think she's a fantastic woman and a great person. And I understand exactly what she's saying. I don't view it as an endorsement, but I certainly view it as it's getting a little bit close. And, I think her words carry a lot of weight. And in South Carolina, they're going to carry a lot of weight. So we'll see what happens. But it'll be a very interesting situation. And I think maybe almost more, it's going to be a very close race in South Carolina. I think maybe of even more interest is going to be what's going to happen in Florida, because if South Carolina goes to Gingrich, it could certainly change things in Florida. So it's not an easy period of time for Mitt. He's got to be decisive. He's got to get out there and really start being decisive.
So if I can read between the lines of what you just said, in your mind, at least for now, Florida is wide open, right?
Well, I think everything's wide open. There's nothing done. I mean, I know deal making. Deal making is what I do, and until you're signed and sealed and delivered, until that bottom line is finished, nothing's ever done. I mean, you could see it in this race better than anyone. I mean, people go up and down like yo-yos. Look at Mitt. He was hot as a pistol a month and a half ago, and then he went way down, and now he's doing well. So you just really, you just don't know. I mean, Newt, if you look 8 weeks ago, it was amazing how he went up, and Mitt too. I mean, they're going up, they're going down. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a race like this.
So you see Mitt and Newt have an equal chance in Florida as of right now?
Well, they both go up and they both go down, and they probably have a pretty equal chance depending on what happens. South Carolina is very, very important. Great people, great conservative people there. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in South Carolina, and I think South Carolina is going to have a huge impact on Florida, yes.
Is there a particular candidate that you're leaning towards, or to put it a different way, if you had to choose one of the candidates to run one of your companies, which one would you choose?
Well, I'd rather not say at this moment. I'm in very, very serious thought, and I am watching it very, very carefully. And as you know, they all want me to endorse them, and at some point I'm going to make a decision one way or the other.
And final question. There have been some indications that Mayor Rudy Giuliani might endorse Gingrich. Mayor Giuliani has spoken very highly of Newt in the past. With so many New Yorkers now in Florida, what would this mean for Gingrich's chances in Florida?
Well, everyone respects, and especially from the East Coast, we all respect and like Rudy. I've always liked Rudy. He's a terrific guy, and he was really an excellent mayor. And I think his endorsement would carry some weight. I don't know if it carries much weight in South Carolina, but it carries weight in lots of other places. It would carry weight, actually, in Florida. And Rudy's a great guy, and I can see that happening. I think they're friends. I think he has a lot of respect, and I think I could see him actually endorsing Newt.
Donald Trump, thank you so much. We appreciate it, sir.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.